Hi student. Now in this lecture we will see the remaining part of the unit number 5. In this lecture we see the methods and message passing. So what is the message passing? Message passing means suppose there is a two object is there, and when one object sending some request to the another object, and when the another object accepting this request and processing the data and giving some result, that is called as providing some reply to the first object. So all this process, that is sending the request, accepting the request, processing the data, and whatever the result is created, the giving the reply to the first object, all this procedure is called as the message passings. So in the object oriented programming we see there are the number of objects we have to be used in the classes. So in that these objects can be communicated to each others by using the method, that methods is called as the message passings. So these are the message passings. So here the diagram is shown here how these two objects can be communicated with each others. First one send the request, that is called as a message request, and second one is sending the reply, these are called as message reply, and this message reply can be accepted by the sending object. So message is a request to an object to invoke one of its methods. A message therefore contains the name of the methods and the arguments of the methods. So this is about the methods and message passings. Now the another important features we will see of the object oriented programming is called as the inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance is a property by which the new classes are created using the old classes. Suppose there is in your programs there is one class, that is the name of that class is suppose vehicles, and when we create some another class by the first class, that is called as the vehicles. Suppose the name of another class is vehicle 2. So that vehicle 2 class is inherited from their parent class, that is the vehicles. So this property to create new class from the previous class is called as the inheritance. In other words, the new class can be developed using some of the properties of the world classes. That means what those class created from the previous class, it having some properties of their parent class. We can say that we have to be create the new class by using the some properties of their old classes. The old classes are referred as base class, and the new classes are referred to as a derived class. So in this way, the old class, whatever the old class, that old class is called as a base class or the parent class, and the new class created, these are called as the derived class or the child class. That means the derived class inherit the properties, data and functions of the base class. In another we can see it as in this way the derived classes having some properties, inherited properties of their parent class. That means properties means some data they have, some functions they have of the base classes. This allow the reuse of the existing properties of the base class in the derived class. That means we can say that there is a reusability of the functions, there is a reusability of the data in a new class that we have to be created. So this is called as the reusability of the properties of the base class. So here is the one example is shown here. This is we can give one example that is called as a shape, and shape is the class, and draw and resize is their object. So we can, by using this shape is the base class, and from this base class we can use some derived classes that is called as a circle, line, and rectangle. Again the object of that circle is draw, resize, again the line is draw, resize, rectangle, draw and resize, and from again we can, from the rectangle class we can again derive the new class that is called as a square, and the object of that square is a draw and resize. In this way we can say that circle is a derived class from the shape, line is derived class from the shape base class, rectangle is a derived class from the shape base class, and we can say that square is derived from their base class rectangle. So these are the examples of the inheritance. Now next point, polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism means many structures. Poly means many, and morphism means it is called as a structure. So polymorphism is the ability to take more than one form and refer to an operation exhibiting different behavior in different instance of the situation. The behavior depends on the type of data used in the operation. It plays an important role in the object with different internal structures to share the same external interface. Object-oriented programs use polymorphism to carry out the same operations in a manner customized to the object. Without polymorphism, you would have to create separate module names for each method. For example, the method clean is used to clean dish object, one that clean a car object, and one that clean vegetable objects. With polymorphism, you create a single clean method and apply it to a different object. A very simple means regarding this polymorphism. By using the polymorphism, poly means the number of forms. So you can create the number of forms for a similar structures. That means suppose when you create the clean methods, so that clean methods you can apply to the different situations. Likewise, this clean method can be used for to clean the car. This similar method you can apply to clean the another object that is called as suppose vegetables. Suppose some another body can use that clean methods to clean the dishes also. So that means single method can apply to a number of objects. These are called as a polymorphism. This is a very important features of the object-oriented programming. Now another one is a containership. What is containership? It is an ability of the object-oriented program that one class may contain the object of another objects of one or more other classes. Containership, container means that containing some data. So here in the object-oriented programming, one class can contain the objects of one or more other classes is called as a containership. For example, consider two class, customer and account. The customer class can contain the object of account class. This is also called as composition as it contains another class in one class. The containership is denoted by a hazard relation. This feature allows reusability of the codes. This is regarding the containership. Now what is the reusability? This is another very important feature of the object-oriented program that is called as reusability. Reusability means here we have to be use the some basic data or some basic functions or some basic properties of their previous class into the derived class. That I always obviously we can see in the next last topic, that is called as we have to be derived some classes from their previous classes. So this is called as the reusability of the properties. So that means we have to reuse the data and functions of the previous data. This is called as the reusability. So reusability is again very good features of the your object-oriented programming. Now another point is the delegation. This is a feature of object-oriented programming by which one class depends upon the other class. It is represented by hazard relationship. This feature is very much similar to containership, but there lies a difference between the two. In composition, the child cannot exist if parent class is not present. That means existence of child class slowly depends upon the parent class. It is strong relationship. On the other hand, a delegation, there is a dependency of one class on another, but even if the parent class is not present, the dependent class exists. For example, if we see the example of the delegation, for example, a teacher may belong to multiple departments, so teacher is a part of multiple departments. But let's say if we delete a department, the teacher will still be there. This is called as the delegations. And school can contain multiple classrooms. Now if we delete the school, the classroom will automatically deleted. This is a composition. So this is the main example, this is the main differentiation between what is the delegation and what is the compositions. So this is I think sufficient for in this lecture. Now remaining part we will see in the next lectures.